Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM, as today they take on the Westwood Wolverines. Tom Nappy on the call, John Ritz on camera, and it's a TBL large battle. The 2-4 Hopkinton Hillers and the 1-5 Westwood Wolverines, as the Hillers are looking for their second straight win after taking down Medfield last week on this very field. And the Hopkinton Hillers about to come out. And here they are, your Hopkinton Hillers. And they got the Pee Wee football team coming out with the players. And they are hyped up for the game tonight. And they're rocking their orange jerseys tonight. A 7 p.m. kickoff scheduled right here at Chick Welsh Field at David M. Hughes Stadium between the Hillers and Westwood. And these two teams always play each other close. It should be a great game here tonight. Other TVL matchups tonight include Holliston at Medfield. They're all kicking off tonight. Norwood at Ashland in a battle for the TVL Large Championship. Bellingham at Medway, a crucial TVL small meeting. Dover Sherborne at Millis, and Norton at Dedham kicked off at 6:30 p.m. We'll be trying to update you on those games throughout the course of the night. But the Hillers, fresh off a 31-16 win over Medfield, looking to get a victory here tonight. Correction on that. It was actually a 34-21 win over Medfield last night, as the three captains heading towards center field for the coin flip. Hunter Bertucci Bissonette, Brady Oslander, and Aiden Kelly, your 2021-22 Hillers captains. And a big crowd on hand tonight. A beautiful night weather-wise. Temperature is at 61 degrees, clear skies. There's a chance of a very small pop-up shower, but for now, it is pitch perfect here tonight at David M. Hughes Stadium. The Westwood Wolverines, they lost last week to a very good undefeated Ashland team. 45-12 was the final in that game. They are 1-5 on the season. Let's take you through the TVL standings. Ashland at the top of the large for now at 6-0. Norwood is 5-1. Ashland and Norwood both meeting up tonight. Both expected to have playoff spots as well. Hopkinton 2-4. Holliston and Westwood 1-5. Medfield 0-6. And the TVL small, right now 5 out of the 6 teams in contention for the playoffs. You got Norton at 5-0. Dover Sherborne at 5-1. Medway, Millis, and Bellingham all at 3-3. And Dedham at 4-2. They are very close to a playoff spot as well. And Westwood's going to receive the opening kickoff. And the Hillers have chosen the left of your screen as their end of the field. So Westwood to receive. And we are just about ready for Hopkinton Hillers football as they meet up with the Westwood Wolverines live on HCAM. This is their last scheduled home game, but there will be 1 or 2 added in the to-be-determined part of this season, which of course is either playoff games or non-playoff games. And we will now send it down to the field for the national anthem. you have it, the national anthem by the Hopkinton High School Marching Band, and we are just about ready for the opening kickoff here at Chick Welsh Field. Westwood in their away white jerseys with green numbers. The Hillers in their alternate orange jerseys with the white numbers as Avery Ravitch tees it up. And we are ready to go. The Hopkinton Hillers boys varsity soccer team got a huge win today, giving Holliston their first loss of the season. The only two imperfections in Holliston's record is due to the Hillers, a tie and a win by the Hillers against Holliston. As Avery Ravitch is set to kick it away right to left across your screen. Westwood has three back to receive, including Dylan Corrigan, as Ravitch lets it go. A wobbly kickoff, but it takes a good Hillers bounce back to about the 8-yard line. And here's the return up the near side, and it'll go to about the 26-27 by George Maroon, the senior, for the Westwood Wolverines. And that is where we will open this game. Westwood Wolverines led by head coach Brad Pindell. The Hopkinton Hillers led by first-year head coach Mark Sanborn. And the Wolverines are going to line it up with their quarterback under center. That's Brendan Donegan, and it's going to be a run that goes absolutely nowhere. A good stop to start things off. Sokol getting in there along with Aiden Kelly.
So they should all be plus DBs. Yeah, this is what they were minus. I just put it up to plus 12. Okay. Yeah.
And that'll bring up second down for the Wolverines. They credit them with a couple yards on the play. George Maroon on the carry. And he is going to see a lot of action here today. Good athlete for Westwood is Donegan, going to line it up out of the gun, an eye in the backfield. Receiver spread out to each side, motion from right to left. He's going to pitch it back to Maroon. Up the far side he goes, finding some space. And he's brought out of bounds just past the 35. Let's see where they mark him. It is going to be third down. And they're going to put Westwood at the 37-yard line. So a 7-yard pickup on the run by Maroon. That will bring up 3rd and 1 for Westwood. Donegan going to line it up once again under center. I formation in the backfield. Maroon the up back. The receiver to either side, hands it off. Here goes Maroon up the far side. And he's good for maybe a yard. Let's see where they mark him. It looks like he just got enough for the first down. They'll put him at the 41. He had a little extra push at the end of that run, and he ended up picking up 4 yards. 1st and 10 from the 41. Wolverines are a team that likes to run the ball a whole lot. Donegan under center. I formation in the backfield. Receiver to either side. He's going to roll to his right. Looking upfield, trying to find some space. He's going to take it himself across midfield and out of bounds around the 45. On the chase down was Paul Litcher. And that will move the chains for the Wolverines. A good run there by the quarterback. Up to the Hillers 45 they go, a 14-yard pickup. As they will huddle up and try to keep this drive going. The Hillers defense played pretty well last week against the speedy Medfield team. Donegan going to line it up under center. That formation once again in the backfield. Two receivers to his left. They will hand it off, this time getting the call. It's Joey Toddy. And across the 40 he goes to about the 39-38. A pickup of several yards there. So Wolverines moving along into Hillers territory. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 3 to go. Back up to the line they go. Donegan once again under center with an eye in the backfield. This time 2 receivers to his right. Toddy is the up back. And he's going to get the call again. Up the middle he goes. And he ran through a couple of tackles up to about the 31. And that'll move the chains once again for the Wolverines. Westwood running the ball efficiently to open up this game. 2.5 minutes into action. Donegan going to line it up under center. High formation. Toddy is the tailback. Receiver spread out to either side. Motion right to left. And he's going to get the pitch this time. And correction, that is Maroon getting the pitch. And Maroon fighting his way towards the 1st down marker. And he's brought down at around the 24. A pickup of 7 yards on the run by Maroon. Westwood already racking up the yardage here on the ground. Hillers defense going to have to tighten up. Their up front play is going to be ultra important against this team that likes to run the ball a whole lot. Wolverines a pretty young team this season. A lot of freshmen and sophomores on the roster. Donegan under center, Maroon in the backfield. He'll hand it off, and it's a run up the middle, and Maroon has enough for the 1st down as he fights his way inside the 20. And he's going to be marked at the 19. And that's a pickup of 5. Wolverines keep the chains moving. This drive coming up on a 5-minute drive for Westwood. That's going to be one of the keys for Westwood if they want to take this game. Try to hang on to the ball, have some drives like this. And don't let this Hillers offense get any momentum. Donegan under center, Maroon the up back. Motion right to left. And it's going to be Maroon once again. Finds some space up the middle, and he's brought down close to the 10. We'll mark him at the 12. A pickup of 7 yards there. And George Maroon, a big bulldozing running back, tough to bring down. He's already broken a good amount of tackles in this game. Joey Toddy is back out on the field, the sophomore running back for Westwood. Quarterback Brendan Donegan in his senior year. Donegan again will go under center. Toddy is the up back. The I formation's working, so why not? Motion left to right, hand off to Toddy. Up the middle he goes, and he fights his way towards the 5. It does move the chains. And that was a pickup of about 6 yards on that last run by Toddy. to the line they go. Once again, they're going to go out of the eye. Toddy is the up back. And he'll get the call, and this time the Hiller's ready for him, and he doesn't get very far. Sokol getting the initial wrap. In on the tackle as well was Kevin Prasanna. So they mark him for a very minimal loss there. Second and goal from about the 6. And already this drive has burned off 8 minutes in this first quarter. And this time under center they have Andy Weedman. And he's going to take it to the near side, find some room. To the end zone he goes, and it's a Westwood touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run by the sophomore, Andy Weeman, on the keeper. And the Wolverines strike first. They will line up for the extra point here. The snap and the kick, and it is no good. So a missed extra point attempt by Colin Roper, the senior, and the score will stay 6-0 Wolverines. They burned off a whole lot of time on that drive. They burned off 8 minutes and 10 seconds on a 73-yard touchdown drive. It was capped off by an Andy Weeman keeper. Well, the Hillers will get their offense set. They'll have to respond. Colin Roper, the kicker, will tee it up. Back to receive for the Hillers. You have Wyatt Stevens along with Joe Carazza. 3:44 left to go in the first quarter. Well, the Wolverines ran the ball effectively. As soon as the Hillers started to key in, they gave it to Andy Weeman for a keeper. Switched it up, and it paid off. Roper is set to kick it away. And he'll send a liner up the far side to about the 15-yard line. On the return, it is Wyatt Stevens. He's going to have a good return, cuts towards the near side, and he's brought down at the 25. Didn't have much space to work with, but was able to get something out of it. And that is where the Hopkinton Hillers offense will start this drive with 3:36 left to go in the first quarter. Robert Litcher, your starting quarterback. And he will bring his offense up to the field. Litcher going to line it up. Out of the gun, Carazza is the up back, and he'll get the call. Over to the near side he goes. Finds a little room. Past the 40, and he's brought down around the 45. A good run to start things off by Joe Carazza. That'll move the chains, a pickup of 20 right off the bat for the speedy junior. Starters for the Hillers include Robert Litcher at quarterback. Your receivers are Wyatt Stevens, Seamus Murphy. Running backs, Joe Carazza, fullback Aiden Kelly. We'll get you the linemen in just a moment. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun with a back to either side. Karatza to his right. And now his fullback shifting over, takes the snap, looking to pass, throws to his right, has a target, hauled in by Seamus Murphy. And a gain of a couple there on the reception by Murphy. Going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Hillers. The rest of the offense for the Hillers include Matt Pantera, the tight end, Justin Gerard, offensive lineman, Brendan McGowan, offensive lineman, Evan Van Beek, offensive lineman, Hunter Bertucci-Bissonette, and James Muzzy also on the line for the Hillers. Back up to the line they go. And they're going to have Karatza take a direct snap. Karatza cuts towards the near side, finds a little room across midfield, and he's brought out of bounds in Westwood territory at about the 45-yard line. And they'll mark him at the 46. So a pickup of 7 yards for Karatza. And that'll move the chains. They replaced it at the 45. Litcher with an empty back set. 3 receivers to his left. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws to his left, airing it out, and it is dropped by a wide open Braden Hicks at around the 10. That was a pretty good pass by Litcher. Maybe a tad in front of him, but that's one you gotta catch. You don't see Braden Hicks make that mistake very often. He often will reel that in. Clock stopped at 1:57 left to go in the first quarter. And the junior quarterback is set to go. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Back to his right. Karatza lined up as a receiver with 2 more receivers to his right. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws towards the sideline, and it is caught by Seamus Murphy at around the 35, and then he had a couple yards after the catch. And they're going to give him 15 yards. Second reception by Seamus Murphy. First and 10 from the 30-yard line. And he went out of bounds, so the clock stopped at 1:49. Litcher out of the gun. Shifting to his right, Aiden Kelly. Seamus Murphy, the lone receiver, to his left, takes the snap, looking to pass. Under pressure, rolls to his left, and he's going to take it himself. The 30, the 25, and he's brought out of bounds at around the 20. A good run by Litcher. And there was a late hit that came in. That's going to draw a flag. Big mistake by Westwood. It looks like he might have stepped out of bounds at around the 16. Still a good pickup nonetheless. Yeah, actually, that was a little bit further than it looked, as Litcher was able to get an extra step on it. Ends up being a 14-yard pickup. And with the penalty, the ball is moved to the 9-yard line for the Hillers. First and goal from the 9. Litcher going to line it up under center. You have Aiden Kelly and Karatza in the backfield. High formation, 2 receivers to his right. Hands it off to Karatza, cutting towards the far side. The 5 and into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Hillers! A 9-yard touchdown run by Joe Karatza. And just like that, the Hillers respond. That'll tie this game up at 6 apiece. And that touchdown comes with 1:21 left to go in the first quarter. Avery Ravitch out to try to hit the extra point and put the Hillers up by 1. Snap, kick, end over end, and it's perfect. Hillers lead it 7-6. Well, that is a good response by the Hopkinton Hillers. The Westwood Wolverines had an opening drive that lasted over 8 minutes and resulted in a touchdown, but the Hillers respond just over 3 minutes later. Or make that just over 2 minutes later, able to respond. And that'll be Westwood's goal, keep the ball away from this potent Hillers offense. Ravitch will tee it up. Back to receive for Westwood, George Maroon, Jack McDaniels, and Quinn O'Brien. As he is set to kick it away with 1:21 left to go in the first quarter. And he sends it end over end, all the way back to the 5, and it's dropped! Maroon picks it up in the end zone. He'll take it out. And they're going to call it a touchback. I thought he might have touched it before, went into the end zone, but the official says otherwise. So it will be a touchback for the Westwood Wolverines. So we'll bring their offense back out, and we'll see if this Hillers defense can tighten up on this run game for the Wolverines. They're going to start this drive from their own 20-yard line. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun this time. Fakes the handoff, play action, throws up the middle, has a target as he connects with Ryan Pizzuto, and Pizzuto is going to get some good yardage after the catch. Up to the 44 he goes. A 24-yard pickup by the sophomore. I'll mark him at the 43, so 23 yards. Under a minute left to go in the first quarter. First pass we've seen from Westwood. Back up to the line they go. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. In the backfield, George Maroon. 3 receivers set. The 2 to his right, and he'll hand it off. Maroon up the middle. Past the 45 he goes to about the 46. We'll see where they mark him. It's good for a couple. So Maroon picks up a couple on the run, and that'll do it for the first quarter of play. After 1, it's the Hopkinton Hillers 7, the Westwood Wolverines 6. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers varsity football on HCAM.
Please join us tonight and welcome in the future Hiller football players.
We are ready for the second quarter of play. A 7-6 Hillers lead. Tom Nappy happy to be with you from David M. Hughes Stadium. John Ritz on camera. And the Westwood Wolverines trying to respond to a Hillers touchdown and extra point, which put them up 7-6. And they're going to line it up once again out of the gun. Donegan takes the snap, throws the screen to his right, and up the far sideline goes his receivers to about midfield. Quinn O'Brien hold that one in. That ends up being a 4-yard pickup. Third down and about 3 to go for the Wolverines. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun with a back to his right. Takes the snap, throws to his right, and it's dropped by his intended target, Quinn O'Brien. And that'll bring up 4th down for Westwood. Up to the line they go. And they will punt it away, facing a 4th and 3. Back to punt, that is Donegan. Snap, kick, and it's going to sail to about the 18-yard line. And Paul Litcher let it go. Smart move there. And the Hillers will bring their offense back out. A good defensive stop on the last Westwood drive. We have a TVL large update. Ashland leading Norwood 7-0 in the first, after 1 quarter of play. And that is a game that will determine who will capture the TVL large championship. So the Hillers going to start this drive from their own 17-yard line. At 11:03 left in the second quarter. And Carazza is out there lined up as the quarterback. And he'll take the snap out of the pistol, rolls to his right, leaps over a defender, and out of bounds. And what a run that was by Carazza. He wasn't able to get much. They're actually going to mark him back a yard. The defense caved in on him and was able to stop him. The leap looked good, but he certainly wishes the yardage was a little better. And Litcher is back in the game as the quarterback. He'll line it up out of the gun with a back to his left. 2 receivers to his left. Takes the snap, rolls to his left, pump fakes, and now he's going to keep it, and he is going to take it to about the 15. Let's see where they mark him. So he picked up about a couple yards there. Brings up 3rd and 8 for the Hillers from the 19-yard line. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun with a back to his right. Takes the snap, and no, this is going to be Seamus Murphy. And Murphy up the far side as the lights go out on the turf field. And he is going to be good for a Hillers first down. Well, they bring in the speed, they bring in Murphy, and he gets the job done. Ball marked at the 31-yard line. But a 14-yard pick, or make that a 12-yard pickup on the run by Murphy. Litcher going to line it up with a back to either side, a receiver spread out to either side. Takes the snap, looks to his right, has Murphy. Connects at about the 37. Murphy on his feet at about the 44, and he's pushed out of bounds. On the stop was Jack McDaniels, but that is going to once again move the chains for the Hillers. They'll be marked at the 44-yard line. A pickup of 14 yards. 8:51 and counting left to go in the first half. The Hillers trying to string together another successful offensive drive. And it's going to be Litcher under center. Karatza the up back out of the eye. He'll pitch it back. Karatza cuts up the near side, and he's brought out of bounds at around the 45. There is a flag, and I believe there's going to be helmet to helmet against Westwood. Only about a yard there. Well, I think we're going to have a penalty against the Wolverines. Or let's see. Oh, no, it's going to be holding Hillers, excuse me. So they will get marched back to the 32-yard line. And that will bring up first down. And a good amount of yards to go. 22 to be exact.
First and 22 for Hawkinson.
Litcher going to line it up with an empty back set. Motioning over to the right is Petruni. Or make that Wyatt Stevens, and he will throw to his left. Does connect for a minimal gain. On the reception is tight end Matt Pantera.
Pass complete to Sam Pantera.
And the ball is marked at the 33. So it was a pickup of about a yard. Up to the line they go. Litcher out of the gun with Karatza to his right. Three receivers spread out to his right. Takes the snap, looks up the middle, and it's intercepted by Thomas Kane. His intended target was Murphy, and here goes Kane into Hillers territory, cutting across to midfield at the 20, the 10, and he's into the end zone. It's a pick six for the Westwood Wolverines. What a return by Thomas Kane. But hold on, do we have a flag? It looks like this one's coming back some yardage. And will the interception even hold? I'd assume it was on the return.
So the penalty will be on the Westwood return.
And it will stay with the Wolverines. So the penalty, the holding call was on the return. And they'll start this drive from the Hillers' 36-yard line. Donna getting to line it up under center eye formation in the backfield. A receiver spread out to either side. He'll hand it off. Up the middle goes Joey Toddy, and Toddy fighting his way forward. Was stopped after a minimal gain, but pushed his way forward for a yard or two more. And they'll mark him at the 34. Pickup of a couple for Toddy. Still plenty of time left in the half for Westwood. 6.5 and counting left to go. A 7-6 Hillers lead. And this game started with a touchdown drive for each team, but now the defense factoring in on both sides. Donegan under center eye formation in the backfield, hands it off. Run up the middle. And Toady trying to push his way forward at the 30, pushing the pile, and finally he's brought down. And that's a pickup of 4 yards. Well, Westwood, they have some good power runners, and they are utilizing them tonight. They marked them at the 29. That'll bring up 3rd and 4 to go for the Wolverines in Hiller's territory at the 29-yard line. George Maroon back into the game as the tailback. Receivers spread out to either side. Donegan under center. Play action. Rolls to his right. Has space. 30, 25. Up the sideline he goes. Cutting across at the 10 towards the goal line. And it looks like he's going to be stopped just short of the end zone at the 1-yard line. And that's going to be a 28-yard run. The Wolverines in business. Good run there by Donegan. Had all kinds of space on his right and was able to scamper up the sideline, break a few tackles, and set Westwood up nice. Donegan going to line it up under center. George Maroon is the tailback. He'll hand it off. Maroon up the middle and into the end zone he goes. Touchdown Westwood. A 1-yard touchdown run by George Maroon, and the Wolverines have retaken the lead. 5:06 left to go in this second quarter. The score stands at 12-7. It looks like they're going to go for the extra point. They have their kicker, Colin Roper, out there. That was Mark Holmesy who came running out. Westwood was short a player. The snap, the kick, end over end, and it is no good. So it'll stay a 12-7 game in favor of Westwood.
What's going on, Jay?
And the Hillers will get the ball back and try to string together a touchdown drive of their own. Well, this has the makings of a back and forth affair throughout the night. Another update from the Ashland and Norwood game. Ashland Clockers leading Norwood 14-7 with 1:56 left in the first half. Try to give you some TVL updates throughout the night. We'll certainly be paying attention to that Ashland-Norwood game, which is going to determine the TVL large title holder. Another TVL update, Norton leading Dedham at the half, 14-0. Ball teed up at the 40. Wolverines set to kick it away. Colin Roper set to kick it away. And he'll send a short kickoff back to the 33, right to the hands of Andrew Budden, and that's where the Hillers will start this drive. Well, it's not a bad approach if you have trouble getting the yardage on it. We'll see what the Hillers can string together. Well, their run game has been stopped pretty well. On that first touchdown drive, it was really the passing game, besides a big 20-yard run by Carazza, that allowed them to find the end zone. Litcher out of the gun will take the snap and take it up the near side for a yard or two. And they'll give him 3. Brings up 2nd and about 7 to go for the Hillers. Litcher under center. Carazza is the tailback. And he will get the pitch. Along the far side he goes, and he is going to be stopped after a minimal gain. He picks up a yard there. That'll make it 3rd down and about 6 to go.
3rd and 2nd for the Hillers.
Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. 2-back set to his left. Play action. Rolls to his right. Under pressure. And it's intercepted. But there is a flag. Well, that flag came right out after the interception. That could be for the hit. And it's going to be against the Hillers, so it is going to be Wolverines' ball. 2nd interception of the night by Robert Litcher. On the interception, that was the captain, Mark Holmesy. And what a day so far this Westwood defense is having. The Wolverines start this drive at 3:29 left to go from the Hillers' 40-yard line. Donegan going to line it up under center I formation in the backfield. Play action, rolls to his right, throws to his right, and it's a little high to his intended target, Oliver Gannon. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Well, we had a fast-moving first quarter as Westwood strung together an 8-minute drive, but this game has slowed down substantially. The Hillers defense, or the Westwood defense rather, coming up big. Their 2nd interception to get the ball back. And this Hillers defense, they've been on the field for quite a while. So hopefully they can get a quick stop here. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. And he will hand it off. Run up the gut by Maroon, and Maroon fighting his way forward. Able to break away briefly from the defense. And he got up to the 30-yard line before being dragged back. That's enough to move the chains. A pickup of 10 for Maroon. And the clock will keep moving. Westwood going to have to work quickly here. Only 3 minutes left to go. I'd expect that they'll probably open the passing game up at some point during this drive. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. Maroon in the backfield. Hands it off. Up the middle goes Maroon, and he almost broke loose, but was dragged down at the 20-yard line. And that is close to the first down. That is going to move the chains. Another 10-yard pickup. This defense has been out there quite a bit in the second quarter after a pair of interceptions by Westwood. So they're going to have to tighten up, and I think this is a good, looked like there was going to be a timeout call here, but the defense coming back out. And it appears we're going to keep going. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. Maroon, or make that Toddy is the back to his right. Motion from left to right. And a pitch to the man in motion, Pizzuto. Fighting up the far side. He takes a big hit along the sideline.
First one pitch goes to number 27, Ryan Pizzuto, brought down by
Cody Lavlinette able to take him down with a big hit. And he was able to get up to the 15-yard line. So a 5-yard pickup. That makes it 2nd and 5 for the Wolverines. Donegan gonna line it up, and he will hand it off. Run up the middle, Toddy. And Toddy inside the 10, fighting his way forward to about the 7 or 8. And a good run there. That will move the chains for the Wolverines.
It'll really be good for a Westwood first down. It'll be first and goal.
And mark him at the 7 and 8 yard pickup
From about the 7-yard
on the run by Toddy. The sophomore running back certainly has some good bursts going up the middle. Donegan out of the pistol, hands it off, and a run by Toddy once again up the middle, and he fights his way. Looks like he got just inside the 5. Westwood's going to have to hurry it up a little here. Only 27 seconds left to go in the half. They mark him at the 4, 3-yard pickup, and the Wolverines will take a timeout to stop the clock at 25 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Hillers defense really going to have to tighten up here. I believe Westwood has all but the timeout they just used left in this half. So they will be able to stop the clock a couple more times. Don't forget to stick around at the half to hear the great sounds of the Hopkinton High School Marching Band. I believe they'll be playing some music at the half. 25 seconds left to go. Wolverines facing a 2nd and goal from the 5. And they better get out there to the field, I think. There they go. And we are ready to go. Actually, that ball is marked at the 4. 2nd and goal from the 4. Donegan going to line it up under center. In the backfield, it's Maroon. He gets the call. Up the middle he goes. And this is going to be close. Did he get in? And the ball came out, and the Hillers recovered. I believe it was Paul Litcher who recovered it. And it was Paul Litcher, a fumble recovery at the 1. And it's Hiller's ball with 17 seconds left. But facing not such good field position, I'd imagine they'll just knee out the clock. The Hillers will receive the second half kickoff. But that is a big, big defensive play there by the Hillers. You're already down by 5. It looked like Westwood was going to take it in for another touchdown, and you come up with the fumble recovery. We'll see what they do here. I'm expecting them to just knee it out. They might hand it off. And he will indeed take a knee, and that will wrap up the first half. Well, the second quarter wasn't the prettiest for the Hillers, but certainly some positive things for the Hillers as they're able to stop the Westwood Wolverines at the 1 yard line and recover a fumble to save another Westwood score. And at the halftime break, it's Westwood 12, Hopkinton Hillers 7. The second half coming up in just a few minutes. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers varsity football on HCAM.
Once again, we will be announcing the 50-50 raffle winners for tonight's game. Please get out your tickets and get ready for the number calling. The winning raffle ticket for tonight's game, 5331718. Once again, that is 5331718. I'll answer one more time. That is 5331718. Thank you so much for supporting the festivities right here. If you have won, please meet us at the booth up at the stands. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful night and enjoy the game. Thank you so much.
And he laid his hands on him. I got him by the neck, let him not get
And welcome back to Chick Welsh Field at David M. Hughes Stadium. We are just moments away from the second half. Hopkinton will receive the opening kickoff. It's a 12-7 Westwood lead, so the Hillers will have some work to do on offense. We have some updates from around the TVL as the Hillers are back out on the field. At the halftime break, and what you could call the TVL Large Championship, Ashland and Norwood knotted up at 14 apiece. Also at the half, Medway leading Bellingham 21-7. Holliston leading Medfield at the halftime break 21-6. Dover Sherborne leading Millis 19-0. And in the fourth quarter, Norton and Dedham knotted up at 14 apiece. That's also a big game in the TVL Small. Norton and Dedham both in the running to capture the small title. And actually, if Norton wins that game, Norton will capture the TVL Small. I believe that is the case. But in any case, the Wolverines are back out on the field, ready to kick it away. In the first half, the Hopkinton Hillers had 49 yards on the ground, 32 through the air, 81 yards total. Westwood had 148 yards rushing, 27 through the air, 175 yards total for the Westwood Wolverines. And as I mentioned, the Hillers had 81 yards. 75 of those yards were on the first touchdown drive. So this Hillers offense needs to get going. Of course, there were those 2 interceptions thrown by Litcher. But hopefully this second half will lead to a lot more success for this Hillers offense. And I'd imagine they're going to certainly open up the pass game. You're going to have to, but you want to get that run game going too. Once Carazza and your running backs get going, they could be unstoppable at times. So the Hillers have hit the field, and we are just about ready to go in this second half. A 12-7 Westwood lead as we start the third quarter. Colin Roper has the ball teed up. Back to receive for the Hillers, Wyatt Stevens and Joe Carazza. Well, kickoffs haven't been a strong part of the Westwood game today, so we'll see what kind of kick we get here from Roper. A packed house here at David M. Hughes Stadium tonight. And some great spirit by the fans supporting their Hopkinton Hillers. And we are underway in the third quarter, end over end, back to the 20-yard line. Here's the return from Wyatt Stevens, and he will take it up to about the 31-32. And that is where the Hopkinton Hillers will start the opening drive of the second half. Marked at the, 36-yard line. So that is where the Hillers will start this drive. They mark them at the 36. And up to the line they go. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Back to his left, Carazza. Receivers spread out to either side. White Stevens spread out to his left. Takes the snap, looks to his right, throws to his right, has a target, and it's hauled in by Seamus Murphy, and he takes it another yard or two after the catch to about the 45-46. Make that the 47, an 11-yard pickup. A nice play to open up the third quarter for the Hillers. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun with a back to either side. Takes the snap, And he's going to take it himself, find some room up the middle across midfield, and he's brought down at the Westwood 48. That is a pickup of 6 for Litcher. Second and 4 to go for the Hillers. And a good start so far for this offense, getting things moving a little bit, mixing it up. I think the key is don't take risky chances throwing the ball. Karatza lined up as the quarterback out of the gun. And he is going to hand it off to Seamus Stevens on the jet sweep. And he will make that Seamus Murphy, rather, and he marches up to the 35. A 3-yard pickup to the 45 goes Murphy. That brings up 3rd and about 2 to go for the Hillers. Litcher out of the gun. Stevens in the backfield. 2 receivers to his left. Takes the snap, hands it off. And here goes Karatza. Karatza up the near side. And he's brought down at around the 36. But a 9-yard pickup there by Karatza. It looks like we have an injured player on the field. That moves the chains for the Hillers. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. I'm not quite sure who the injured player is. I certainly hope he's okay. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. And with the injured player on the field, we'll step aside. You're tuning in to Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM. Off the injury stoppage, Hillers 1st and 10 at the 36, working right to left across your screen. Litcher gonna line it up out of the gun. Takes the snap, throws to his right, incomplete. Intended target, Seamus Murphy. Brings up 2nd and 10. Well, the Hillers mixing it up here early on. A little run, a little pass. And they're trying to confuse this defense, throw them off guard. Pitcher out of the gun once again. Karatza the up back. Aiden Kelly to his right. Takes the snap. Throws up the right side seam. Hauled in by Wyatt Stevens. And Stevens has a big gain. Up to about the 15. That is certainly going to be a Hillers first down. And they'll mark him at the 14-yard line. That ends up being a 24-yard pickup by Stevens. To the line they go, and lined up as the quarterback is Prasanna. And it's going to be a direct snap to Karatza. Cuts towards the near side, now takes it up the gut. And he is fighting his way forward for a couple extra yards, and inside the 10 he goes. Good strong run there by Karatza. They mark him at the 9-yard line. A 6-yard pickup.
First down carry. It's going to be second and about 4 from the 9-yard line.
Second down and about 4 yards to go for the Hillers, as they're putting together a drive that's eating up some clock. A touchdown here would give the Hillers back the lead since Westwood has missed both extra points. It's a 12-7 game. Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. Play action, throws to his left, and connects on the screen to Wyatt Stevens. And Stevens is going to be brought down at around the 5-yard line. I know. They'll put him back at the 9. They're going to say it was incomplete. He must have not been able to hang on. So that brings up 3rd and 4. Might have been out of bounds when he corralled that in. Back out to the huddle goes Litcher. And we are ready to go. Litcher going to line it up under center. Karatza in the backfield. 2 receivers spread out to his right. A pitch to Karatza as he cuts towards the far sideline, breaking a couple tackles towards the end zone. And it looks like he might have stepped out of bounds at around the 1 or 2 yard line.
That will be good for a Hiller first down.
So they're going to put him at the 1, an 8-yard pickup.
First and goal Hillers from the Westwood 1-yard line.
Another great run there by Karatza. Litcher is once again going to line it up. Out of the gun, Murphy moving in tight. Takes the snap, it's a keeper, up the middle, and whiffies into the end zone, Robert Litcher. Touchdown, Hillers. And the Hillers have the lead back at 7:05 left to play in the 3rd quarter. And they're going to go for 2 here to try to get up by 3. That's probably the call I would go with as well. Hillers attempting the 2-point conversion. Litcher is under center. Karatza in the backfield. Out of the eye. Fakes the pitch. Rolls to his left and connects with Matt Pantera. And that'll put the Hillers up 15-12. Hillers up by 3. And that was a drive that started at the 36-yard line and ate up 4 minutes and 50 seconds, resulting in a 2-yard Robert Litcher touchdown run and a successful 2-point conversion completion to Sam Pantera. And that is certainly a good way to start off the 3rd quarter for the Hillers. That puts the momentum in your favor. And if your defense can come out and get a stop, that might really put the momentum in your favor. Avery Ravitch tees it up, and he is set to kick it away. Back to receive, you got Quinn O'Brien on the left side and George Maroon on the right. And Ravitch sends it sailing, and it's hauled in at around the 8-yard line. Here's the return from Quinn O'Brien. And O'Brien fighting his way forward, breaking a couple tackles. Gets up to about the 37-yard line, 38-yard line. And a good return there for the Wolverines. Mark them at the 38. And Westwood will bring their offense back out. And the Hillers hoping for a big stop here. Westwood was driving towards the end of the second quarter, and then a fumble recovery at around the 1 from Paul Litcher changed Westwood's plans to add another score. Donegan is going to line it up under center I formation, and someone jumped. I think this one's coming back 5 yards. False start, Westwood.
False start on Westwood. Back in 5 yards.
That'll make it 1st and 15 from the 33.
First and 15 for Westwood from their own 33-yard line.
Donegan going to line it up under center. In the backfield is Joey Toddy. Motion from right to left, hands it off to Toddy. Toddy up the middle, and he is brought down at around the 38-39. So a pickup of 5 or 6 yards there. Markham officially at the 39-yard line. Donegan brings the offense up to the line. He's going to line it up under center once again. And it's Toddy in the backfield. Back to pass. Throws to his left. And it is incomplete. What a great defensive play by Colby Lave-Lynette. Lave-Lynette just got between the receiver and the ball and knocked it away. And that is how it is done. Intended target was Thomas Kane. And that brings up 3rd and 9 for Westwood. 3rd and 9 from the 39. And you'd imagine they will try a pass in this situation. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. It is Toddy once again in the backfield. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws up the sideline, and it's hauled in by Quinn O'Brien in Hiller's territory. And that will be enough for the first down. Up to the 39-yard line he goes. That is a pickup of 12 by Quinn O'Brien. That's his second reception of the day. 16 yards receiving overall for the senior. Clock stopped at 5:53 as he did step out of bounds. 1st and 10 in Hiller's territory. Donegan is going to line it up. Out of the gun, takes the snap, back pedals, looks upfield, throws upfield, and it is caught. Hauled in by Ryan Pizzuto at around the 30. Good coverage by Paul Litcher, but just a great catch and great throw by Donegan to Pizzuto. They mark him at the 29. There was a pickup of 20 on the reception. That's the second longest pass of the game for Westwood. And a 23-yarder in the first half. Donegan going to line it up out of the pistol. Two-back set to his left, and he will hand it off to Toddy, and Toddy works his way across the 25. And they'll put him right at the 25, 4-yard pickup for the sophomore. Clock continuing to move down to 4.5 minutes and counting. Left to go in this third quarter. A 15-12 Hillers lead after they open up the half with a touchdown drive and a successful 2-point conversion, but Westwood is threatening. 2nd and 6 from the 24. Donegan going to line it up out of the pistol, and we're going to have a flag pre-snap here. I believe that may be a delay of game. And that is indeed the call. That'll push Westwood back.
Delay of game against Westwood.
That's the second penalty of the half for the Wolverines. And that moves them back to about the 29. Makes it a 2nd and about 11 to go for Westwood. Donegan out of the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off. It's Toddy getting the call. And he is wrapped up on the near side after a very minimal gain, if anything, by Paul Litcher, Aiden Kelly, among others.
Paul Litcher and Aiden Kelly with the hit.
Good stop by the Hillers. And that brings up 3rd down for Westwood.
From the Hillers 29.
And mark them at the Hillers 29. So it ended up being a pickup of a couple. This drive for the Wolverines so far has eaten up almost 4 minutes of this third quarter. They're facing a crucial 3rd down here. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. And the backfield is Toddy, a 3-receiver set, 2 to his left, takes the snap, backpedals, and someone moved. Let's see who it was against. It's going to be against the Hillers, so the Wolverines will move up 5 yards. They'll put them at the 24-yard line. 3rd and 6 from the 24. First penalty by the Hillers in this second half. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. Toddy in the backfield. 4-receiver set, 2 to either side. Takes the snap, throws to his left, and it is incomplete. Off the hands of his intended target, Ryan Pizzuto. Pressure provided by Paul Litcher. And that will bring up 4th down for the Wolverines. They're likely going to go for it as they are pretty deep in Hillers territory. Certainly won't do much harm going forward here, and worst case, you give the Hillers the ball back, but at least they're in their own territory. Up to the line they go. Out of the gun is Donegan with the back to his right, takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws up the sideline, incomplete! Intended target was Quinn O'Brien. Good coverage along the sideline, by Andrew Budden, and that'll be a turnover on downs. The Hillers defense gets it done. The Hillers will take over from their own 24-yard line. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Well, if you're the Hillers offense here, obviously you're going to go for the score, but try to eat up some of that clock and work your way into that end zone and really take control of this game. And we're going to try to get you some score updates from around the TVL in just a moment as the Hillers offense is ready to go. And they are going to line it up out of the gun, and the snap gets by Litcher. Litcher covers it up at the 10. He's in trouble, rolling to his right, finds a little bit of space, and he's brought down. And now it's fumbled again, but the play is blown dead. Well, that was rough by Litcher. He should have immediately went down at the 10. He tried to recover some yards, and it ended up costing him as the Hillers are backed all the way up to, looks like, about the 5-yard line. And that is going to make it second and really long. First down marker all the way at the 34-yard line. So second and 29 to go for the Hillers.
Second down and 29.
Out of the gun is Litcher. And he's going to hand it off to Carazza, and Carazza's brought down just past the 5. Pickup of 1 or 2 there. Not much room to work with.
Third down and about 27 to go for the Hillers.
The Norton Lancers are leading their game 21-14 at Dedham. And the Ashland Clockers leading Norwood 22-14 with 5:07 left to go in the third quarter. Well, the Hillers likely going to try a long pass here because they do not want to punt from this far back. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun, and we have a pre-snap flag, and it's going to be a delay of game, I believe, on the Hillers.
Delay game call.
And it indeed will be. That's a rough break for the Hillers. That's their second delay of game call in the half. Second of the game as well. Well, when you have a bad snap and you're backed up a long way, it kind of unravels any momentum you had going offensively.
That's going to do it for the third quarter.
And that'll end the third quarter. The Hillers will start back from about the 3-yard line when we come back for the fourth quarter. After 3 quarters of play, it is the Hillers 15 and Westwood 12. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM. And we are ready for the fourth quarter. The Hillers are backed all the way up to about the 2.5 yard line after a delay of game call. And they are facing a third down situation and about 32 yards to go. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Back to his left. Takes the snap. Play action, throws to his right, connects with Karatza. Karatza trying to work up the near side, and he's dragged down by Joe Shavitz after a minimal gain, and that'll bring up fourth down. The Hillers will punt it away. Good tackle by Shavitz, who just ripped Karatza to the ground at about the 4 yard line. Well, this game has turned into a bit of a defensive affair between these two teams as the Hillers are set to more than likely punt it away. They're punting from very deep. Ravitch is out there, backed all the way up to close to the end of the end zone. All the way towards the end line, takes the snap, and it is not going to be a great punt, but when you're punting in that situation, it never usually is. And a play along the near side it goes, and the Wolverines will have very good field position to start this drive.
30-yard line. 10:55 play in the ballgame.
Westwood's going to start this drive from the 30-yard line in Hillers territory. 10:55 left to go in the fourth quarter. Donegan going to line it up under center. And he is going to... He actually fumbled the snap and quickly landed on it. So that'll be no gain there. That'll bring up second and 10. Well, he is fortunate that he landed on that. The last thing you want to do after getting such great field position is give up a turnover. Up to the line they go. Donegan under center. In the backfield. That is Maroon. And he is going to hand it off. Run up the middle, goes nowhere. Good stop by Kevin Prasanna along with Hunter Bertucci-Bissonette. They mark him back for a loss of 3 yards. That'll bring up third down and 13 to go for Westwood. This will be really big for the Hillers to get a defensive stop here. But you'd have to expect in Hillers territory, Westwood will likely go for it on fourth down. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. In the backfield, it's Toddy. Two receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws up the middle, it's incomplete. A little bit too far to his intended target, the sophomore Ryan Pizzuto. Good coverage upfield by Paul Litcher. Brings up fourth down for Westwood. And it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there, as expected. Clock is stopped at 9:07 left to go. Up to the line they go. Donegan out of the gun. And it's Maroon to his right. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, looking upfield, up the sideline, and it's incomplete. Ryan Pizzuto was open and just could not reel it in. It was a good pass as well by Donegan. On coverage was Paul Litcher. And it's a turnover on downs. The second time this game Westwood has turned the ball over on downs. And it's also the second time in this half they have turned it over. The Hillers will start this drive from their own 32-yard line, 8:59 left to go. Score remains Hillers 15, Westwood 12. Litcher going to line it up with an empty back set out of the gun. 3 receivers to his left, takes the snap. Up the left side he goes, and he finds some space and works his way to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 13 for Litcher. What a great run by the junior. And the Hillers once again trying to get the momentum in their favor. And they are certainly starting to. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. A 4-receiver set, 3 to his right. No one in the backfield. Karatza lined up in the right slot. Takes the snap. And up the middle he goes, fighting his way forward, breaking tackles up to about the 47-48. Well, not much there, but he turned what looked like a loss into a small gain, and he did come up limping a little bit. Picked up 3 yards to bring up a 2nd and 7. And it looks like he's walking back to the huddle just fine now, so just a brief shake-up for the junior. The Hillers burning some good clock on this drive, already almost a minute and a half. Litcher out of the gun, Karatza to his right, 2 receivers either side. Motion from right to left, takes the snap, throws to the man in motion, Seamus Murphy, and Murphy's brought down for a loss in the backfield. That was a good stop by the Wolverines. And on the stop was Joey Vinci, the sophomore.
3rd down and about 12 now for the Hillers.
3rd and 12 for the Hillers.
Up to their 43-yard line.
From the 43. Loss of 5 on that last play. The Hillers need to get up to the line quickly. They've already had a couple delay game calls. Got to be careful with that. Calls like that can ruin your momentum big time. Litcher under center I formation in the backfield. The receiver spread out to either side. And someone jumped. I believe this is going to be against Westwood. It looked like a lineman jumped, but let's see. And it is indeed against Westwood. I believe the guilty party was J.T. O'Shea. That pushes the Hillers up 5. So they get the yardage back that they lost on the last play. That makes it 3rd and 7 to go for the Hillers. From their own 48. Out of the gun is Litcher. And he is back to pass, throws to his right, and it's intercepted! Oh no! 3rd interception of the game. And this time it's Mark Holmesy with the pick. Well, that was just a smooth move by Holmesy, getting right in the lane. A bit of an overthrown ball there. And the momentum has turned once again. This is a seesaw game. between these two teams. Ball marked exactly at midfield. The Wolverines in business. Up to the line they go. Donegan going to line it up under center. And he will hand it off to Toddy. And Toddy runs it up the gut to the 49, a yard there. Second and 9 for Westwood. 5.5 minutes and counting left to go. Wolverines have plenty of time to work the Hillers half of the field. Out of the eye. And it's a pitch to Toddy. Cuts towards the near side. He's dragged down in the backfield. In on the stop was Calvin Tujan. It seems in this game, whenever the defense needs to come up big, they do. And that is a loss of 3 yards there. That will bring up third and about 12 to go. Well, another great stop by the defense, but Westwood will have a couple more cracks at it. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. It is Maroon in the backfield. 2 receivers either side. Takes a low snap, able to pull it up. Looks up the middle, throws up the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended target, Ryan Pizzuto. Good coverage by Paul Litcher and Kevin Prasanna. That'll bring up 4th and 12 for the Wolverines. Well, 3:59 left. Do you try to pin the Hillers back? And that looks like what they're going to do. They're going to bring out special teams and kick it away. And their punter is Brendan Donegan. And the snap is high. Donegan corrals it in, and he's going to throw up the near side. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. The 3rd time the Hillers have forced a turnover on downs. Their defense is playing unbelievable right now. Westwood is scoreless so far in this second half, and the Hillers defense has really stepped it up when they have most needed to up to this point. Hillers will have the ball in Westwood territory at the 48-yard line. 3:49 left to go in this game. And the crowd, they are getting a show tonight in this one. Certainly getting your money's worth. All kinds of happenings in this one. Up to the line they go, working in Westwood territory. And it's going to be Carazza lining up out of the gun. He'll take the snap, and he'll cut up the near side. Good for about a yard. And on the stop for Westwood, Thomas Keene. Second and 9 for the Hillers from the, well, they marked him closer to the 47, so mark him for 2. First down. Up to the line they go. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Back to his left. 3 receivers to his left. He'll take the snap. He'll run towards the strong side. Pump fakes. Looking upfield, and now he's in trouble, and he's dragged down. And that is going to be a loss. Getting in there initially for Westwood was Dylan Grady. He was followed up by Joey Vinci. And a big loss there for the Hillers, and the Westwood defense comes up with a big play. Hopkinton back all the way up to the 45-yard line. That'll make it a 3rd and 15 to go. A loss of about 8 on the play. Clock continuing to run down. And Westwood does have all their timeouts. And I think they're going to use one right now. It's going to be a Hopkinton timeout. They want to talk things over. 2:04 left to go. The Hillers leading Westwood 15-12. But the Westwood defense has come up with a couple of big stops, and they are working on getting the ball back to give their offense another opportunity. And we have an update. Hopkinton Hillers girls varsity volleyball shut out Ashland 3-0. And the Hillers improved to 18-0 overall, 14-0 in the TVL. And they are TVL champions. Congratulations to the Hopkinton Hillers girls volleyball team. That was their 15th shutout of the season as they take down Ashland on the road. Senior setter Catherine Layton had 30 assists, 2 aces, 5 digs. Senior middle hitter had 9 kills, 1 block, 1 ace, and 2 digs. And big contributions from the outside hitters as well. Senior Melanie Gilday and junior Emily Graber. And a good all-around team effort for Hillers volleyball. Congratulations, they are the TVL girls volleyball champions. 2:04 left to go. The Hillers facing a 3rd and 17. Trying to extend this drive. If they get a first down, this game is pretty much over. Litcher under center. And now Karatza in motion. He's going to pitch it back. And we're going to get a reverse. And now Seamus Murphy trying to work up the far side, gets nowhere. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And what a good job by this Westwood defense. You have to give him credit. Coming up with a big stop. Mark Holmesy, the captain, on the tackle. Clock is stopped at 1:52. Timeout was called by the Wolverines. But if you're the Hillers, you can't risk it here. You got to punt it away, trust in your defense. They've come up big all half long, and all they need to do is come up big just one more drive. We have an update. Ashland leading Norwood over at Ashland High School, 22-20. Winner of that game will win the TVL Large Championship. And that game, crazy back and forth affair over at Ashland. And what a great story they are. Winning the Super Bowl 2019, undefeated this year, impressive stuff. Avery Ravitch is out to punt. And this is certainly the smart move here for the Hillers. Takes the snap, punts it away, just gets it off. And it'll sail up the near side, land at around the 38, and then roll towards the sideline.
Down by the Hillers at about the 29-yard line.
About the 28-29, excuse me. So the Wolverines will get one last crack at it, trailing by 3. Ball marked at the 29. 1 minute, 41 seconds left to go. The Wolverines will be in the hurry up here. This game has had a little bit of everything tonight. Donegan going to line it up out of the gun. And he will take the snap, throws up the middle, and it's caught. Crossing midfield is Pizzuto, and he's brought down all the way at the Hillers 40. A huge reception for Westwood. And that is going to be a 31-yard pickup on the reception by Pizzuto. Westwood right back to the line there in the hurry-up. Donegan out of the gun, throws to his left, connects with Thomas Kane. Kane finds a little space as he fights his way up the middle. Close to the first down, but stopped a few yards short. That was good for several yards from Kane. Up to the line they go once again. Donegan out of the gun, 3 receivers to his left, takes the snap. Throws to his left. It's caught along the left side hash marks by Pizzuto. Now he fumbles it, but he recovers as he lands on it at around the 25. And that was a clear catch by Pizzuto as well, and somehow was able to fall on it. His own fumble turns into a 16-yard pickup. And the Wolverines are cruising. 43 seconds and counting left to go in this game. A field goal would tie it, but Westwood hasn't had much luck in the kicking game tonight. Donegan takes the snap, and he throws an interception! Picked off! And it's going to be ran up the far side, and that was Paul Litcher coming up with what is likely the game-winning interception. Unbelievable! This defense tonight was just fantastic. And I don't think there's any doubt. Paul Litcher, player of the game, huge interception, and he's made many key tackles tonight as well. And that was a thing of beauty. The Hillers 25 seconds away from improving to 3-4 on the season. And, you know, sometimes when the offense isn't clicking, it falls into the defense's hands. And tonight, the defense was huge. Paul Litcher also had that fumble recovery in the first half, which ended the Westwood drive as they were all the way at the 1. So he's having a great night. Fumble recovery at the 1 to interrupt Westwood's drive, and a game-winning interception, Paul Litcher. And we're going to have a flag. Too many men on the field. I believe this is against Westwood. Nope. It's against the Hillers. But that is okay. All they have to do is knee out the clock. I don't think Westwood has enough timeouts to do anything here. They might run a play or two. And he'll just take a knee. Westwood does take a timeout, but I don't think they're going to have enough. Well, this game was a fun one. Had a little bit of everything. You had a fumble recovery at the 1. You had a whole lot of interceptions. A whole lot of turnovers on downs. What a great defensive battle. Clock stopped at 20 seconds left to go. And he will take the snap, take another knee. And now it looks like Westwood's just going to let it run. And that is going to do it. The Hopkinton Hillers are going to capture the 15-12 victory and improve to 3-4 on the season. The season didn't start off so hot, but they have won their last 2 games, and they'll head in to Holliston High School, certainly riding high and with a chance to get another victory in TVL large play. A terrific win by the Hopkinton Hillers. Paul Litcher, your player of the game. A key fumble recovery at the 1-yard line to wrap up the first half and end a very threatening Westwood drive. And then the game-winning interception as well by Paul Litcher, your player of the game. What a performance by the junior. For John Ritz on camera, I'm Tom Nappy. This has been Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM. The final score for the final time. The Hopkinton Hillers take down the Westwood Wolverines by a final score of 15-12. We thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you again soon. And have a great night. Goodbye, everybody.